Hi guys, Dave here from Wolf in the Wild Survival. We got something that it could go either way. A lot of people love them, a lot of people hate them. We have a wire pocket saw. Now, I got the absolute cheapest one that I could get that still had a key feature that you absolutely have to have, or you will literally hate every one that you ever bought. But before we do that, I want to show you guys something. So my t-shirts came in today. You guys see that okay, maybe? I hope. Let's get some different light. Okay, I think that shows better. So, I'm sure some of you might already be noticing a problem. The emblem's facing the wrong way. So I guess this is what you're going to call an off run? I don't know. But either way, I got a bunch of them in. They're not right. But you know what? I'm gonna wear it. I'm gonna show off anyway. And the next batch that I order, I'm going to make sure it's done right. But I can't really blame anybody else, because there are some pictures were sent to me, and one of them had like a big black circle, and it was like solid black except for where the wolf and the pine tree are, and that was whatever color the shirt is what color that was. And I didn't want a big solid black circle, so I went with this one here, which was the other picture they sent me, just that, no circle, no, kind of whatever. And I said, yeah, that one there is fine, that looks great. I didn't even realize it was facing the wrong way until basically I got a message saying, hey, your shirts are ready. And that's when I took a second look at that picture and realized, yeah, facing the wrong way. So it was kind of it was their screw up, but I should have saw that too. So not gonna hold it against them. We'll see how the next run turns out. But hey, what are you gonna do, right? What are you gonna do? I'm a very small outfit, and I don't have a whole lot of cash, so I do what I can. All right, so back to the saw. Okay, so this is actually, I also apologize about the wind, which I'm sure is playing havoc with the camera as I speak. It's been raining like practically every day for probably more than a month. This is the first sunny day we've had in a while, at least the first one we've had where I was available to do this kind of thing. And I took the opportunity to get out here and at least show off the shirt and get this done. And of course it's going to be windy, and I've picked kind of a sheltered area, but it's, again, I got to work with what I got. And hopefully it's not too bad on the camera. But I got the Outward Bound pocket wire saw. And the feature that I was just talking about, it's got swivels on it. Okay, you want to make sure that it has swivels. You don't want a wire saw that doesn't have swivels, or they're going to break over and over and over again. You will literally hate every single one that you get. Now, unfortunately, this one's kind of a braided wire saw. It's more than one wire. So I don't know if it's going to be good for everything I'm about to talk about as to why these things aren't totally useless. But because it's braided, it's probably not going to break as much as one with just a single wire. Okay, so this, it is made out of stainless steel, which for wire saws is pretty important. It's got to be relatively decent stainless steel. I don't know if this is decent or not. Although it's cheap, it's made in China, so I don't imagine it's great. It says that it easily cuts through logs, plastic, bone, rubber, and soft metal. That is the real utilitarian kind of thing with this. It'll cut through bone and antler. You can't do that with a saw. Probably not even a hacksaw blade, I don't think. I mean, maybe if you're real gentle and you take a long, long time. But most conventional saws will not cut through bone or antler or plastic. Out at my campsite, we brought like a plastic chair, like a patio chair, and we used a wire saw to kind of cut a hole in it and turn it into a toilet. And at this very moment, it's still out at my campsite. It's still being used as a toilet. So, you know, we couldn't have done that with a conventional saw. It would have taken forever with a knife. But with a little wire saw, it took no time at all. It was like a minute and a half, made a toilet. So, it's very lightweight. I mean, it doesn't really take up much space. You could very easily put something like this in your pack. And now where did I put that? Actually, I'll just use my knife. You could just cut most of the packaging off, and put it in your pack like that. And, you know, I mean, at the bottom of your pack, that's nothing, and it doesn't really matter if it, you know, gets crushed or whatever with all your other stuff. Doesn't matter at all. So, and if you store it like that, on the back it's like a cardboard, you could feather that up and use that to get your fire going after you've cut, you know, your firewood. Okay, so I have been all through this area and I haven't found any bone at all. None. And that's kind of unusual because there's a lot of coyote around here. There is tons of deer. And although coyote don't really go after deer, they will take a very, very young one, or they will sometimes take like an old sick one, but they'll certainly scavenge one if they can find it. And I see bone around here an awful lot. But today, nothing. So I can't test this on bone. But, I mean, it says on the package that it will do bone. It would be nice to test it on antler too, but you don't find a lot of antler laying around. After the deer drop their antlers, squirrels and chipmunks, mice, coyotes will gnaw on them. Basically any animal, it's an essential source of calcium for a lot of animals in the wild when the deer drop their antlers. So you don't find them laying on the ground very often unless you get really, really lucky at exactly that time of year before the other animals get to them. So, unfortunately, no bone, no antler, and we're going to have to do just wood. But we'll give her a try. Now, another good thing to put these in, if you don't want to store it in the package, or if you've already opened it, those little tins that like your pellets come in for your pellet guns, that'll work great. I don't know if it'll quite fit, but those little Kinder eggs, actually, you know what? I don't even know if a lot of people outside of Canada even know what a Kinder Surprise is, but they're little Kinder Surprise, like an egg, and little toys come in them, and the eggshell, you'll probably be able to maybe get some of these in, some of them maybe not. But now that I think about it, I don't think a lot of you people, like stateside or whatever, even have Kinder Surprise. I don't know. I think I heard that somewhere. But, I mean, you know, use your imagination. You could fit them in all kinds of stuff. And, you know, boom, there we are. So that's a 22-inch wire saw with sort of key ring loops for holding on to. And it's got swivels, almost like those big leaders for fishing, almost like that. So what that'll do with the swivels is it will not bind up the saw so that it puts a kink in it, so when you start cutting, it's going to weaken in that area and it's going to break. Inevitably, it'll break every time. The swivels help to prevent that. That's why you want the swivels. Always, always, always make sure that you have those. You don't want to buy a wire saw that doesn't have swivels, because they are absolute garbage. They're pretty much useless. These, I don't know if they're useless or not exactly, but they are less prone to breaking. I know that. And I mean, honestly, I had these in my packs before. I've never really thought that much of them until we cut that chair. And just out of, you know, like an old survival kit that I got for Christmas like ages ago. I don't even know where it came from or what the brand name was, but I know it came with a little Gerber knife, and that knife was actually really cool. I really like that little pocket knife. So the wire saw, like I say, I never really liked them. I never thought that much of them. I broke a million of them, so I took it out. I gave it to my buddy. You know, hey man, just here, throw that in your pack. Maybe it'll be useful for you someday. I can't stand the things. And when we brought that chair out, he happened to still have it, and we used the wire saw to cut the chair after I tried probably 15 minutes with a knife to, you know, kind of do it. Didn't work out quite so well. And he said, hey, I got that wire saw, let's give that a try. And it was like a minute and a half we had the whole thing done. So that's basically, I looked into it a little further, and that's when I realized they're also good for, you know, like I say, bone and antler, which will help you make tools in a survival situation. So bring your Bucko Laplander, your Silky Gomboy or Pocket Boy or whatever, just, you know, your Harbor Freight folding saw, whatever you got, bring it along. Throw that in your pack for, you know, just in case, because bone and antler are really good for making tools, and it can be very hard to work with. So if you have one of these, it will help do that. So let's find something dead standing, and give it a try. So a lot of you might remember I did a product review on a cheap hand-powered chainsaw, and how most people pretty much have been using it wrong for their whole lives, because they were trying to cut like this, and that's only going to bind it up and bugger it up. So I found a stick that was kind of bowed, and I made a bow saw out of it. Now I imagine it's probably going to be the same for this. It'll probably bind up, but let's just give it a try, just for interest's sake. Let's just see what it'll do. And it bound. And it bound. So yeah. So that binds super easy, and I made it about a third of the way through that. So we're gonna have to find something to do it upright. And I think I see something over there. Don't know if this is going to work out. But, one thing I wish that this Buck Selkirk had is a bigger choil. Every time I go to use like the choil, I cut myself. So I really do like the knife. I definitely think it's worth the money. But if I ever design my own knife, it's gonna have a bigger choil. Definitely. All right. That. And then that. All right. Well, I don't know if that'll quite get the job done, but let's give it a try. All right. Very quickly realized that was definitely not going to work, so I bowed it and put another notch. I might have bowed it just a little bit too far. Probably could have carved a bigger notch. That just came out and ran through my fingers. All right. Well, that didn't work. But you can see it was already working better when I had it. Now you see why I don't like these things. All right. It's like halfway through. So, with way more effort than it's worth, and I do mean way more effort, it is possible. And if I could have found something a little bit better, maybe prepped it a little better, maybe something a little bit thicker, it would have worked on the bow saw configuration. It definitely would have worked better. But for wood, it's, I'm sorry, it just sucks. It really does. But man, I keep biting my lip. I've done take after take. I've got a little bite canker now, and I'm just, I keep biting my lip. Bah. Hold on. Oh. Ow. Okay. Spring. Definitely want a case to hold these things, but if any of you have those Kinder Surprise, I'm pretty sure at least a saw like this will fit into the little egg thing on the inside of a Kinder Surprise. But like I say, I think I heard somewhere that in America they don't have them. Most people outside of Canada don't even know what I'm talking about. So, wow, what a pain these things are. Something to strap it together might not be such a bad idea either. Just, no, that's not gonna work. Just, I don't know, little piece of string or whatever to hold it. Wouldn't be such a bad idea. But I've seen these things go through plastic so easy, just super easy. And I understand that they also do that with bone and antler and kind of whatever as well, which is why I came out to this area. I've been out here a lot. I like to, you know, ride my bike through and, you know, kind of hang out and whatnot. And I see bone all the time, but for some reason I can't find any today. So I don't know what to say. But if it goes through bone and antler as easy as it goes through plastic, and to be honest, I can see it almost going through as easy. Almost. So I think it's worth having in your pack. I really do. Just cutting up, you know, to bone and antler to make fish hooks so that you can go fishing. I mean, fish hooks are a pain to make, and something that'll at least cut it into the size that you want and help you to work it will definitely make it a lot easier. So I don't know, I recommend that. I do. So yeah, the whole closing point, they don't weigh much, like really nothing at all. They don't really take up any space. Even if you never actually use it, it's not really getting in the way or adding any real weight. But the possibility for how useful it could be, I think it's worth having. I do. You know what? I bet you it'll cut through soapstone too. I bet you it will. Given enough time and, you know, working it, whatever, I think you can actually cut soapstone. And, I mean, that's probably only useful, like, on a art standpoint, but you never know. If any of my viewers out there work with soapstone and cut with a wire saw, let us know in the comments, because survival isn't always about, you know, getting stuff done and, you know, work and kind of, sometimes you got to kick back and just, you know, do something a little artsy, a little nice. Even if it is making yourself something that's just decoration. You never know. Stuff like that in any kind of post-apocalyptic kind of era could become a trade good. It definitely could be. So you just never know. So yeah, if you work with soapstone, let us know. Give us a comment. And yeah, I think that's about it. So we'll see you guys in the next video, and I hope you're enjoying yourself, because despite the wind, I know I sure am. Have a good one, guys.